Hey y'all, hey. It's been a minute, right? Like over a year since I last recorded a video. A lot has happened. We just celebrated our 1 year anniversary in the retail space, which is amazing. It's a huge milestone for us. We know a lot of small businesses don't make it the first year, and we are still here and steadily growing. So I'm super excited about that. The locks have grown. We are in the middle of a pandemic. Lord Jesus. So I figured why not? We need to kick this channel back up, get some more subscribers, and talk about some issues that I've been wanting to talk about. I'm not sure where this series is going to lead. Maybe we'll do a master class. Maybe this will assist me in my book. But I wanted to just put out free content out there and just encourage some women because I feel like we're not speaking enough to how Black women can enter the industry, right? There's several ways. And it's not always about owning a retail or a grow or being a processor, right? Because all of that requires licensing. It requires a commercial property or commercial space, and it's expensive to get into the cannabis industry as a licensee, right? You're going to average around $1 million. That's licensing. That's dealing with all the permits. That's making sure you have a zoned commercial retail space or grow space or whatever it is you're trying to do. That's only one way to get into the cannabis industry. And I think one area that we're missing is that there are many avenues. This is a business just like any other business, right? So we have other areas that you can be associated with the industry without having to put up all those upfront costs. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So we talked about the first one, right? Obviously, you can be a licensee and have a retail space. You can have a grow, you can process, you can do all those things with a license. Again, that's a lot of overhead costs. That is a lot of startup capital that is required. And whether you're in the cannabis industry or not, it is hard to come by capital when you're a Black small business owner. That's just the truth of the matter. I've spoke about that on previous episodes. So, and then when you add cannabis to the equation, it's 10 times more difficult. Typically, you're talking about angel investors or your own personal money. Like I've said before, we are completely self-funded at this point. We have amazing parents that have believed in our dream along the way, but it's a lot of money. So, what are some other ways you can get into the industry? We can also talk about, so you can have your retail, your grow, you can do wholesale. Yes, you could do wholesale with high THC. Again, that's going to require you to have a license. But we need to consider the CBD and hemp market. That is also part of the cannabis plant, right? It's federally legal in all 50 states, and licensing is not the same. Like, you don't have to have certain qualifications to produce, manufacture, and distribute hemp products. I think that it is definitely an oversaturated market right now, but I think what we're missing are quality lab tested products. What we often find sometimes out there is like people, all hemp is not created equally, right? There are a lot of gas stations that have hemp products. Those are not quality products. Please stop visiting your local gas station to get your hemp, okay? There's high quality hemp products out there that still have, you can get full spectrum CBD, where you can still have a lot of the medicinal benefits of, the THC stuff, the high THC stuff, but without the psychoactive effects of the high, right? That's a whole industry. And whether it's whatever you're doing in hemp, whether it's a tincture, an edible, growing the flower, you want to be a retail space, you want to do something in beauty, hemp is a booming market right now. And that's a way that you can also get into it. Everyone wants to go big with the high THC stuff. And I get it. There's an appeal there. But you also have to understand that there's a shortage of weed in certain parts of the United States right now. And because it's not federally legal, you can't get weed to different states. So West Coast weed is staying on the West Coast. East Coast weed is staying on the East Coast. And people in the Midwest, well, from what I'm reading and seeing, y'all in a mass shortage. They got lines down the block and around the corner because they don't have enough product. So think about hemp. Hemp is an avenue. Third, photography. There are a lot of you that are, Instagram photographers or even professional photographers, but we need that also in the cannabis industry. I mean, a lot of our marketing comes from just images, right? Even in our email communication, people want to see the product. Photography, videography, things of that nature. You partner, so say you're already great at photography, okay? Partner, do an internship with a cannabis company. Learn what cannabis companies need to showcase their products in the dispensary. So, whether it's on their menu boards or whatever, on their websites, in advertisements, because a lot of us do continue to do interviews, articles, we put out advertisements and things of that nature. We need quality photos. We need someone who knows how to do that, who can capture all the details in the bud, who can, create different angles for concentrates or, get in the kitchen when someone's producing an edible or whatever. We need that as well. But just being a photographer is not enough for the cannabis industry. You need to be a cannabis photographer. You have to understand what we need and what's appealing to our customer base. So you have to, work with a licensed cannabis owner. You have to learn the plant. You have to understand the business, understand what we can say and promote or what we want to advertise in our pictures and not. Fourth, marketing and branding. I'm still learning how to market and brand our business because there's so many things we can't do because it's not federally legal. I don't even really attempt to go on Facebook anymore and try and promote our products because I've been in Facebook jail so many times I can't even count. Like I think if I'm in Facebook jail one more time, they're gonna shut down all my accounts, and I have several accounts associated with Facebook. Um, so there's limitations on social media. There's limitations on Instagram as well. I mean, obviously they're owned by the same company. Same with Twitter and all those other social media sites. So we have to figure out what is the best way for us to market in this. Oh, sorry, I'm a little disheveled. Market our products in this current environment. And being knowing marketing in other industries is cute and great, and that's wonderful. Knowing branding for other industries is cute and great and wonderful. But what about cannabis? Again, you need to work with other cannabis companies, maybe do an internship for a month, 2 months, 3 months, learn the business, figure out how you can become a cannabis marketer. Like that, you know how many people would be signing up to work with your company if you could actually prove and have history of working with a cannabis brands, elevating them to the next level. But you can't come in and be like, oh, I'm a professional. I know how to market businesses, this, that, and the third. The cannabis industry is a totally different beast. It just is. There's rules, regulations, things you can and can't say as far as the verbiage. Like it's an interesting industry. And you're not gonna know all that unless you work with a cannabis company. Period. We've lost the art of interning. We've lost the art of mentorship. Reach out to a candidate and see if someone can mentor you. I know everyone wants to make money, but sometimes you just need to sit back and learn first. Okay. Lastly, and this I know requires a certain level of education, obviously, and a degree, but we need cannabis attorneys, like real cannabis attorneys, not attorneys who happen to know a little bit about cannabis. But there's so many laws out here, and every law is different from state to state, and depending on the state you're in, you can do this and you can't do that. And with COVID-19, a lot of things, they're giving us leeway to do certain things and not others. So we need real cannabis attorneys, people who work either solely for this industry or primarily for this industry to understand the banking laws and what you can do as far as marketing and what you can say. All of that, you need legal counsel for your documentation, for your websites, for your proprietary information. We need cannabis attorneys. Um, so those are just a few ways that I feel like Black women, and I suppose Black men, but of course, I'm always going to talk to my ladies, can get into the cannabis industry without trying to be a licensee. I'm not trying to discourage that. I mean, obviously, we did it, but it wasn't easy. And I'm not in the business of trying to set people up and give the illusion that it is. It's not. It's expensive. There are a lot of sacrifices that have to be made. And obviously, depending on your location, it may or may not be reasonable. So, do you sit and wait until it's federally legal? That would be a mistake. You need to learn the industry now. You need to figure out how you can get into the industry. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be a licensee. Utilize the talents that you already have, the resources you already have. If you're a dope photographer, internship with a cannabis company, a licensed cannabis company. Learn the product. Sit and learn what they need for their marketing needs. If you're great at branding, learn how to brand a cannabis company. Because trust me, it's completely different than hair or food or any other industry. It's just my 2 cents for today. I think I hit all my points. So I want to do more of these. I want to make sure that I'm answering your questions. So either down below in the comments or on our social media, primarily Instagram, which is Relief Health Cannabis, all one word. Hit me in the comments and let me know. Also, you can visit our website and click the contact form and leave me your thoughts there. You can find us everywhere. I'll put all of our information down in the bio. Till next time, love and light.